Hello, it's another week and it's another episode of The Parenting Business, the podcast for business owners, parents, trying to juggle all of those different things that go with the quite unusual circumstances and challenges and highs and lows that can go with all of that. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify or whatever podcast station application you use. Do also feel free to get in touch with your stories or top tips about how you balance your parenting business. You can either leave us a comment or drop us an email at podcast@parentingbusiness.com. Also, if you like what you hear, please share the podcast with other parents and business owners. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review to help us spread the support. And with that, let's get on with this week's episode. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Stuart.
We're recording a bit different today, aren't we? We've gone to a bit of daytime recording.
In true parenting business style, obviously, when your kids play up and come first, everything else has to be, shall we say, reshuffled. And we normally, on a Monday evening after my kids are asleep, we normally record then, sort of 7:30, 8ish. But seeing as we had a little bastard didn't go to sleep till 9:10, here we are the next day, just rescheduling it all. And then the actual work I should have be doing now, I'm going to fit into tomorrow somehow. And if that isn't a daily occurrence for an awful lot of small businesses, then you're not doing it right.
I'm just thinking about something. I remember a bedtime story you read a while ago.
Yeah.
To
our
audience. Did you read that to your son last night?
I was pretty tempted. I was thinking it, if nothing else. But no, it happens every now and then, doesn't it? So.
Well, that's parenting. I
Yeah.
suppose one of the positives about running a business is that you get a bit of flexibility, or you can make flexibility to do this sort of thing and record a podcast when everybody else is working.
Yeah, we typically work 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, but we can be flexible with them, 50% more than everybody else we can do them whenever we like.
Yeah, we can do them at 2:00 in the morning.
But exactly. I mean, most of us start a business to have more money and more spare time, and we tend to get neither.
Yeah, I
all
think
part and
opposite.
parcel. All part and parcel. Anyway, you don't need to worry about
but
me.
We're chasing the dream. Chasing the dream.
Yes, or the nightmare as it turns out.
How's your week? Tell me your highs and lows from the last 7 days.
Well, the highs was a lovely moment where I walked into a room, sat down in our front room, and my twins are sat there, look at me, grinning. They put a cushion over a tummy. Big grins and says, Daddy, guess what Disney princess is on my T-shirt? And just that mindset of they're now running their own entertainment in terms of, I'm not trying to find them things all the while. It's not, shall we play last night? They've come up with their own little game, and that was nice.
Yeah.
So, it
nice.
took me a few goes, turned out to be Rapunzel, and then the other twin, guess who's on my socks? From the other twins, for fuck's sake. But it was lovely because it was totally all on them. There was no, can we do this? We want to do that. Can you sort this? Can you sort that? We need the other. Just big grins on their faces, play this little simple little game, but it had nothing to do with us as parents. Just they led it, enjoyed it, did the whole shebang, and now we're entering that. So, that was nice. They start to have their own ideas, and so that was nice.
I have that with my daughter occasionally, where she'll suddenly come into me and she'll hand me a piece of paper and she say, "Right, I've made this game.
Yes.
Can you play with me? Can you play this game that I've just made?" And it's a completely random game, and there's the rules get made up as you go along, but it's that creativity. It's that I've done this without any input from anybody else. I've come up with the concept. I've come up with with how it's going to work. And I've created the entire game in my mind and in physicality. So that's nice. I like that.
That was
a nice moment.
Mm.
So tell me about your low.
The picture of a canoe behind you that's not straight winds me up.
It is straight.
It isn't?
Yes, it is.
It isn't?
It bloody is.
It isn't. Doesn't look it from here. Or maybe it's you that's not straight.
Hold on. Maybe it's me that's not straight. Hold on.
Something's wonky. Is it your head or your picture?
Oh, hold on.
Hold on. There he is, look.
There you go. I'll let you off.
Yeah.
It was out by 0.5 centimetre.
Yeah. See, details matter. You're letting yourself go all over. And right, so my other low, and I nearly entered this into the big question of the week.
Yeah.
But my low is on this very similar coin, but the other side of the coin, as it were, to my high in terms of the girls having their own mind and their own sort of ideas and the way they do things. We went to see family friends on Sunday, and we went to see my mother on Saturday. So we've done a fair few miles, but we went to Birmingham Sunday, hour and a half round trip. Sorry, hour and a half there, hour and a half back. So 3-hour round trip, plus a bit for the roadworks when they shot the M42 to make bridges.
Yeah, yeah.
And the question we had on repeat, solid for most of the journey there and back. Are we nearly there yet?
Are we nearly there?
Are we nearly there? When are we going to be there? When are we going to be there? Are we nearly there? And then the other twin pipes. Are we nearly there yet, Daddy? When are we going to get there? For fuck's sake. The only respite in a 3-hour round trip was to pop in at Tamworth Services for a Greggs. Now, I don't normally like spending money at them kind of thing. You get absolutely ripped off at those sort of things, but it was the solace was worth every penny for probably 1/4 of an hour on the way home.
What? Well, they got 3rd-degree burns on the sausage roll.
That's it. Yeah. No, this was barely warm, I should imagine. And a little cake each, whatever they chose. I can't remember. But are we nearly there yet? Has got to be my low. Or 3 hours. I was only awake for 16 of them. I spent 3 hours being asked, are we nearly there yet? That's like 1/5 of my day. And guess what we're doing in a fortnight's time? We're off to see family to the other end of the country. That's like 4.5-hour drive. Christ almighty.
But I love the fact that that's your low. When
if that's my low, I've had a good week.
Parents with kids, that I was going to say that's normal life.
It is. I mean, this is a first for me. They've never really done that before.
I get asked, "Are we nearly there yet?" on a 30-minute journey.
Yeah. So the fact I've got another decade of this at least is part of the mental scarring for which I am currently enduring. But to be fair, if that's my low, I'm doing all right. You
wait till you're planning to go to Disneyland at some point.
Probably Easter.
Yeah, Paris.
Probably. We have spoke to someone who does trips to Orlando, but the 8-hour flight for little ones might be a bit much.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Are you planning on flying or driving?
Yes. Oh, no, I won't drive. I won't drive. I'm not going to drive on the wrong side of the road. I'll cause a crash. I'm like a dozy bastard. I would probably...
Well, yeah, you have accidents on the right side of the road.
I do. To be fair, I'll probably take the train. The girls like a train.
Train's nice.
Nottingham Station to St Pancras and then cross the platform up to the Eurostar sort of thing.
You see the thing it is, but the train from Nottingham to London is more expensive than the train to bloody Paris. I drive.
Probably.
I drive, park on the outskirts of London, tube in. It's cheaper, it's easier. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's my take.
We've not got that
I prefer to drive to the outskirts of London and just park at one of the tube stations.
I've already imagined parking at a tube station for a week will cost more than a train ticket.
It's about £5 or £6 a day.
Yeah. Maybe.
So no.
Maybe not then. I thought it'd be a lot.
Not a train to London.
I thought it'd be a lot more than that to park in London.
There's tube stations on the outskirts of London that are park and rides effectively.
Okay, yeah, Edgware or something.
They encourage you to park there, so they make the parking relatively cheap. So okay, that's good. That's good. So yeah, not a bad low. Okay. Pride was my high. Nottingham Pride. I love it. Love it. I've taken my daughter for the last 2 years. That I've been able to partner and her lad this year. We went with. It fell nicely because it was the day after the last day of term for school, which meant friends from school came along as well, and we kind of just made a day. It was really nice. Love it. It's just such a fun, happy, friendly event, and it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. just because of the eclectic mix of what people are wearing, the different groups, yeah.
It is somewhat
So that's nice. That was my
flamboyant,
high.
for what I gather.
Yes. Yeah, it is. There's certainly some things that you wouldn't ordinarily see, unless you're mixing in the community regularly.
Imagine there's an awful lot of things I wouldn't normally see there.
But it's just such a lovely atmosphere. Everybody is in a party happy mood. So yeah, and every walk of life, you have huge retailers, will be part of the march. The fire service were there, part of the march. Big brands like Next, Boots, Jet2 Holidays, all have cohorts there. Primark, big national and multinational companies have cohorts of staff there enjoying it, and they support their staff to go, and I think that's brilliant. So yeah, that was my high. It's such a lovely event. My low, it's the usual thing, and funnily enough, you mentioned it, 60-hour week odds. It's just there's not enough hours. I've got so much on at the minute with, different businesses, with trying to get things ready before taking a break, before going on holiday, with the family. It just feels bonkers. And there's no end in sight until the point that I get in the car and start driving to go on holiday.
Where are you going?
Oh, we're only going to Isle of Wight.
That's right.
Well, I say only. I love the Isle of Wight. Yeah,
it's nice.
It's really, really nice.
Still overseas, isn't it?
Well, to be honest, for the kids, that's why I do it. Because it feels a little bit more of an adventure. You're going on a boat.
On a ferry, yeah.
And yeah, it feels like you're leaving the country. And I really like that. And I love the Isle of Wight. I think I've said before, because we're there for Cows Week.
Yeah, I like Cows Week.
Yeah.
Got escorted off the Isle of Wight at Cows Week a few years ago.
I seem to remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Have I said that before?
Yeah, I think you have. So
bore everybody again then.
So yes, I am on holiday next week, and funnily enough, we were just having this conversation about it's the summer holidays. Do we take a break from the podcast to spend more time with family in the summer holidays?
We could take a break. We could find a guest host, I dare say. Might have one or two people springs to mind.
Do you think you can manage the back end and editing?
No.
So who's editing it?
But given last week, neither do you.
Well, look, I missed one thing because I was editing at 2:00 in the morning.
I don't think you edit
on day of release.
I don't think you ever edit them. It just sounds to me like exactly as I recall recording.
Hold on. How do you? No, I have to edit out all of the pauses and breaks in conversation and this, that, and the other that we sometimes end up having. I try not to edit. I try to keep it quite raw in terms of the fact that we're completely unprofessional and it's haphazard and we've not planned stuff and we'll babble on about things. So I try not to edit that out because, well, we'd only have a 2-minute episode if I edited all of the babbling out. But I do actually edit out the pauses and, the stuff that would turn it into a longer episode.
Yeah, that'd bum enough somebody's.
Yeah. So, you can by all means take over the editing for me.
I'll do the same as what you did last week. Just not bother. I had an epiphany the other day, and it's obvious when you think about it. But I need to try and work on a few things, as we all do. But one of which is maybe being a bit more respectful and polite when you're wound up. Because something that entered my mind, quarter of an hour or so after I pissed somebody off, given how much love and cherish I have for my own children, even though they can be twats at times, that's someone I've just spoke to is someone else's baby.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think we
something to
sometimes
consider.
forget that. It's that thing of, how would you feel if somebody spoke to your child like that?
Now, to be fair, I was only sarcastic. So I was in a post office and I was the only person in. And I brought some A4 envelopes and I had some things to send to the accountant. So I brought my envelopes over and she says, you got to do it separate transactions. The envelope and the post office. Right. Paid for my envelopes and then goes to take the wrapper off and write the address on. And she says, can you go and stand and do that at the desk over there? I was the only one in the post office. So I get it if there's a queue of people, but if a queue of people behind me, I totally get it because I'm going to be a couple of minutes farting about, aren't I? Get it?
Yeah.
So I gave her a bit of a look round at the non-existent queue, looked at the person on the cashier next to her, looked back and went, yeah, okay. And I went, took it out of the packet, filled in the address, blah, 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 sealed it, brought it, stood in the line where the queue would be, should there be one, this please stand here and wait to be called to your cashier sign. And I probably stood there for only 10 seconds, but those 10 seconds were like, why did I just have to do this? So I get to the little desk and so I said, first class delivery doesn't have to be signed for anything, just second class is fine. And having watched me put documents inside, having typed in it. Got it. She typed in Newton's accountants.
Yeah.
And it says, can I ask what's in it? We just have to check there's nothing on the prohibited list. And I looked at the prohibited list, firearms, ammunition, chemicals. I got as far as chemicals, looked back at her, it says it's my urine sample. So my little sarcastic humour, which kept me entertained, earned me daggers. And I paid me I paid me £7, whatever it was, and Julie got tuttered out of the post office. And it's just that element of, I dare say she's took that as an insult, and it probably was a bit insulting, and there probably wasn't a need for it. Maybe. And I don't know.
I don't think that's too bad.
I don't know where I got urine sample from. It just came to my mind. But
you see, I wouldn't have gone with urine sample.
No,
I would have gone.
Well, if I had my time again, I probably wouldn't.
See, I would have gone. I've fallen out with your accountant. It's ricing.
Yeah.
I've just had my bill from the accountant.
Can you help me seal it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyhow, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Which.
And then we'll move on.
Well, we'll see. Do you ever feel like you're not enough?
Regular, but so doesn't everybody. That is one of the most. I do. That is one of the most common fears there is. So most of us have something. I don't like snakes. I really don't like snakes. But some people it's heights. Some people it's whatever else it could be. Some people are allergic to certain things or don't like certain things. But a fear of not being enough, I think, drives so many people. I mean, without that feeling, I'd never start a business. Wouldn't need to grow it.
I think, though, as a business owner, you feel it a lot more.
Yeah. I think as business owners, I think most of us start businesses when we get to a point in life where we go, I could be doing better here. You look at others who are earning more, doing more, becoming more, and you think, well, instead of this dead-end job somewhere, I'll work for myself. That'd be better.
Well, this is the thing, and I've had these conversations recently. I had them a long time in the past, and for me, I don't know whether it's me or whether it's, partners or whatever, or friends, or you said earlier about people start business. We start businesses thinking it's going to give us more time, more freedom, and more money. And actually, what it often gives us is less money, less freedom, less time. But yet we work constantly to try and build up a business to give us more time, more freedom, more money. So we end up working harder. We end up working more hours when partners or family or other people go, well, you're now spending less time with us. And have you ever questioned going back to just a 9 to 5?
No. Yes, briefly. When it all went horribly wrong for me a couple of years ago, I thought, you know what, I'll just go and stack shelves, something simple, no stress, no hassle.
Yeah.
And might be a nice way of doing it. And then my wife reminded me that would drive you insane because your brain doesn't stop. So not for very long is the answer. We kind of condition ourselves based on right. So my 2-year-old recently, in the last 6 months, he's learnt to walk and he's learning some words. And every time he makes progress, he gets a well done off me, off his mother and his sisters and whoever else, his grandparents, right? When was the last time you got a well done from your parents? That is what we are. That is what we are still striving for, even though we are in our 40s. Doesn't have to be every day. Doesn't have to be every minute. But when you stop doing the things, achieving the things, I achieved something helping my mother recently, and just got moaned at for doing it wrong. And it's like, well, fucking hell! It's the person who taught me to use a spoon and cheered when I started using the spoon, as that element of I'm still craving that in a way, not necessarily off, but off people. We're still craving a little bit. Oh, well done you. You've achieved, but we don't celebrate those wins. Everybody has positives and negatives, and the negatives that we're looking at are often an awful lot closer to our face, with the positives further away. Really, I shouldn't have moaned at you about that picture not being straight, but I should be applauding you. That looks better, mate. Well done. That looks a lot better. Yeah, well done, Stu. Celebrate the wins.
Yeah, and funnily enough,
I had a full day recently because I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, but I feel like that fairly often, probably every 2-3 weeks, something will crop up where I go, and I'll feel like that very often. And it takes me sometimes hours, if not all day, to snap out of that. And I bring other people down with me just because I'm in a bit of a mood. And 90% of it, more, is this inferiority complex. At the minute, I'm car hunting, as you know, and I've not bought one yet because I'm to-in and fro-in. And my first instinct was, well, I want another Jag. Why? I don't need a car for a few weeks, so I can really take my time. But why do I need another Jag? Who am I trying to please?
I know why you need another Jag.
Who am I trying to impress?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So I was chatting with my dad about this. My dad owned businesses, and he never had a Jag. But he worked with people or other people that he was in business with, or throughout his kind of career, always wanted a Jag. And I said to him, I considered a Jag when I just bought my new car. And he said, of course you did. He said, you're a business owner. And regardless of anything, business owners always have this idea that, a Jag, even a cheap Jag, but it's a Jag.
It's a Jag. Well, the other thing is
a Jag. It is. It's that Clarkson thing, isn't it?
Oh, gotcha.
It's a Jag.
So tomorrow I'm going to go to a networking event. Most others are going to be in Teslas, Mercedes, nice motors, and they're going to be paying through the fucking earth for it. Do I care about driving what I pull up in? Not really. The richest person I know started from scratch a good 30 years ago, longer. His wife drives an Aston Martin. His son drives a Bentley. He's got a 2007 Toyota Land Cruiser that looks like it's had a very big paper round. It doesn't matter, does it?
No.
I heard a story not that long ago. I'm going back a couple of years, to be fair. It was a while ago. I heard a story about the largest shareholder and founder of Bibby Financial. So that's the company who do an awful lot of hire purchase for, if you're buying a lorry for your haulage firm, you're buying a machine for your factory. They do an awful lot of the funding for that. £100 million company, easy. And the largest shareholder and main owner, and I think it was the founder, drove an old battered blue Ford Sierra with a dint in one wing and a red door. Couldn't give a fuck. What does it matter? So here's the thing, and I wrote lists. If I don't go and spend, because I looked at a couple, if I don't spend 7.5 grand, whatever, if I spend 7.5, 8 grand on this Jag I'd seen that I like, XE, only about 4 or 5 years old sort of thing, and okay, I might feel a bit better about myself, I might look cool or whatever, I'm going to have to withdraw a good chunk out of the firm, which is capital gains, which is a dividend payment.
Dividend payment,
yeah, which is 25%. for me at the minute because I'm over 50 grand profit. It is, and then you think, what else could I do with the money instead? I've soon got a pretty big fucking list, and you think all I need is get to A to B legally with a fairly big boot. 600 quid, grand. Let's get another fucking nail. If it breaks down in 6 months, it don't matter.
Yeah,
how much
depreciation
on a balance sheet perspective? How much depreciation is each one going to do?
Well, this is the funny thing. You spend £8,000 on a Jag. In 12 months' time, it's going to be worth at least 600 quid less.
Oh yeah, no more.
No,
a lot.
No,
less.
But what I mean is, yes. But what I mean is, okay, let's say it's worth £1,000 less. You go and spend £1,000 on a car, and in that year's time, you scrap it and get 250 quid back. It still costs you less money than the Jag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably different if I'm up and down motorways constantly. That might be different. Fuel efficiency, etc. But I'm not.
But even older cars can be fuel efficient.
Yes,
sometimes older cars can be more fuel efficient.
Okay, I'll leave you with that one. I'm sure you're right.
I remember an article. Well, I remember an article or an episode of Top Gear years ago, where what they did was they took a Toyota Prius hybrid and put it up against a BMW M3 Sport 3 litre for a fuel efficiency test. And what they had to do was they basically took them around their track. The Prius had to drive as fast as it could around the track. The BMW just had to stay on its tail. The BMW 3 litre was more efficient on fuel than the Prius.
Yeah, but the Prius was maxed out, don't forget.
Yes, so what they were saying was it's not about how fuel efficient the car says it is, it's how heavy your right foot is.
Yeah, how you drive it.
It's how you drive it.
Yeah.
So if you drive a BMW M3 Sport 3 litre to within the limits of a Toyota Prius hybrid, you will actually be it will cost you less money to run than a Toyota Prius.
Drive it like it doesn't have brakes, because you'll accelerate slower and you'll leave plenty of time to slow down. Anyway, this is not a car show.
Yes.
If we just for the avoidance of this is largely around inferiority complexes, or sometimes as you go up varying levels in your business, it is imposter syndrome as well as you start to do better. Because I get that. I don't belong in this room. Everyone else is
I
middle class and fancy. I don't belong here. Well, why not? I'm making as much money as them. I don't have debts like they do. Some of them, I've had one of them turn around to me not long ago. Oh, I'd love to be in your position. Why? But no, you don't have much pressure, you, do you? You don't have that much pressure. Seem to be doing all right. I says, well, yeah, okay. The person in question gets a lot of pressure from shareholders, a lot of pressure from the bank he owes.
Yeah.
I ain't got any of that. Quite fortunate, really. So why am I the one thinking I'm inferior? Just because I don't drive the nice motor and wear the flash suit all the while.
And I think this is the thing. But also, it's that feeling sometimes for your family though as well. For that image with your family. I know family tend not to judge, but it's that thing of, why have we not got the nice things, Daddy? Or, why are we always having to, you're running this company. Why are we always having to have the cheap option?
I think people will always compare.
And that feeling that goes around there.
Always compare against each other, won't they? It's part and parcel of life. Being judged, and nobody likes being judged, but that is in effect what we do when we go. That's part of the reason. The only reason I've not gone and bought my new banger of a car yet is that it's not too late for me to draw a chunk out and buy a nice one. It's not too late to me for sign on the line for one. I dare say that one's never really been an option. So I did do recently. I've signed the kids up to a trust fund with a similar amount of what most people, probably less, what most people pay per month on their car leases. So every month their future will pop, blah, 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 blah. 20 years' time, that's probably halfway a minimum towards a mortgage. I mean, we'll see what house prices do over 20 years, but it's a big chunk of it. So Wouldn't you sooner
I've
do that?
I've not been doing that sort of money.
Why wouldn't you sooner do that than buy a new motor?
Yeah, I've not been doing that sort of money, but ever since my daughter was born, I've paid a regular amount into
soon adds up.
An investment for her.
It's compounding. I'll be teaching my kids compounding, both positive and negative. If you owe Barclaycard, compounding. I think the wind just blew my door open. That's okay. We'll
Either that or it's the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you don't put the willies up me.
Excuse me. I know you're alone in the factory, but you don't want guys coming in and do that.
Well, where did you spend Saturday? Anyway, it on before we get in trouble.
I actually think we ought to crack on and we ought to get on for this.
No, but just sticking. I ain't got a big question.
Have you got a big question? I don't know. Have you got a big question this week?
Are we nearly there yet? I thought the big question was
the end of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
The end of this week's episode.
Yeah.
Or the end of life.
Well, the big question, listeners, do we break up for the summer? There's another one.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
do we or don't we? Because I'm in two minds. I'm happy to keep going, but equally, it'd be nice not to look at your ugly mug once every now and then.
Well, yeah. Okay. The unfortunate thing is we tend to still speak to each other most days.
Yeah, we do actually. We work quite close together sometimes.
But well, maybe that is this week's big question. The big question, which listeners will find out either next week or in a few weeks' time. The answer to, dependent on whether there is an episode next week or not.
Well, no, we've got to answer last week's big question. That's right. That's what we're doing in this. We're answering your question.
Oh yes. Okay, then go on then.
So let's play the
last
record.
week's big question.
We'll play the recording.
Last week's big question was.
Well, you asked about eating crayons and what colour would you choose?
Yeah, I know, but I've not got a recording of it teed up.
No, I know, but I'll do you one in a bit. Making sure you edit something this week.
Come on then, you just want to make things last longer for me and take up more of my time when I'm feeling like I'm not enough for my partner, my kids and my business because I don't spend enough time with them. Yeah. Because I'm editing fucking podcasts.
You're not enough. No, you're not. You fucking didn't edit last week's. Or was it the week before? It might have been the week before. It was one of them.
Oh, I don't bloody know. I think it was the week before.
It was the week before.
It all blurs into one for me.
It does, doesn't it?
Right, come on. I think we need to do a relatively short episode this week because I need to crack on and get things done.
Yeah, because we're doing this in the middle of the day now, not in the evening.
I know that you've got to get the willies up you at some point. So
yeah, well, you're offering.
No, I'm bloody not. God, then I'd really have an inferiority complex.
No, I've got one. That's one of the biggest things that holds me back.
Not knowing whether I'm good enough.
That is properly one of the big things that holds me back in life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people. I'm not alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It holds me back a lot as well. And I question a lot as to whether I'm doing enough for family at times when I'm really busy at work. And I think it's a difficult balance, but I think it's about having honest communication with those people that you feel that way with. Certainly when it's family. So
take it on
anyway, go on then.
Take it on one of your chins and move on.
Yeah, one of the four.
You got four now, have you?
Yeah, always. Come on then. I want a joke from you.
How do rabbits dry off after
if you've not got a bloody big question?
How do rabbits dry off after a rainstorm? Turn to the hairdryer.
Yeah.
All right. If I don't see you till September.
What's that? And on that note,
it's time to end.
I genuinely do think, let's just end it there. It's boiling hot in my office today. So, and you've got lots to do as well. So let's end this week's episode there. And listeners, we will either see you next Thursday or in a few Thursdays' time.